Today's Thursday, July 19th, and welcome to the Music Business Blitz. Spotify is increasing your playlisting chances. Oh, Spotify playlists. We all love you and we all hate you at the same time. A lot of artists and apparently major labels as of late spend a lot of time campaigning to get on your top tier lists so that we can start garnering the streams to help fund our tours, merchandise, and records. And on top of that, cost of living, right? Being an artist is not cheap. And if we're able to conquer the beast that is a Spotify playlist, then all is great in the world. And apparently, Spotify is hearing us and they are trying to make the process a little bit easier or perhaps just a little bit more transparent. Very recently, Spotify launched a new feature in beta which improves the way content owners can reach out to Spotify's editorial team with their unreleased tunes, keyword here being unreleased, by logging into their Spotify artist account, selecting an unreleased song for playlist consideration, and then easily submitting. And yes, it sounds and apparently is that easy. And Spotify's reason for making this process a little bit less painful is to connect the right music with the right people. And just as with any type of submission process, there are definitely best practices. So when submitting to Spotify, they want artists to know that, quote, it's important to give us as much information about the track as possible. Genre, mood, and other data points all help us make decisions on where it may fit. You can note the instruments on it, whether it's a cover, and the cultures you or the song belong to. The data you share will be complemented by what we already know about you, what else your fans listen to, and what other playlists you've appeared on. Now, the streaming giant also wants to be crystal clear that payola, which is the act of paying someone behind the scenes to play your record, will not be at work here to get added onto a playlist. Now, do I personally believe that? I would love to, but in a perfect world, I would love to, but sadly, I'm sure that greenbacks will still have some type of influence on ads to playlists. But hey, overall, this new submission process is still good news. Alleged chart manipulation in South Korea. Now, surely at this point, we've all heard of K-pop, and if you haven't heard of it, first I need you to get underneath that rock and get out into the sun. I'm just kidding, guys. Wikipedia states that K-pop is a modern form of South Korean pop music using styles and genres from around the world, such as Western pop music, Latin, hip-hop, R&B, reggae, and electronic dance music on top of its uniquely traditional Korean music roots. Now, from what I've heard of K-pop, I haven't listened to it a lot, just a couple of tracks here and there. I'm not sure that I'm fully digesting the Korean music roots part of that description because it for sure is mostly sung in Korean, but they also have integrated some English as well. And my caveman description of K-pop is that the South Korean government saw potential in exporting entertainment, so they created a boot camp for potential entertainers to hone their dancing, singing, and PR skills, and that the few that outperformed their peers got to team up with other star performers and start a group. Again, a very general description, but I think it's pretty accurate. And there's actually a very interesting Viceland Noisy episode that focuses 100% on K-pop, so you should go check that out when you get a chance. Now, apparently, these entertainment companies that manage K-pop artists are getting a little bit creative when it comes to getting their artists to chart. Digital Music News reported a case study done on one Korean artist named Nilo, and at 1 a.m. on April 12th, the singer's single suddenly rose to first place on Millin, which is a real-time chart for Korean-based music, and stayed there for several hours. Fans then noticed that the song also increased its rankings on other Korean charts as well. So some speculated that Nilo's label, working under the guise of the night like Batman, purchased a massive amount of his records to increase their chart ranking. And there is even a Korean term for this particular act, which I will respectfully not try to pronounce, that translates into buy in stock. Now, as you can probably imagine, this is illegal in Korea, so after multiple entertainment companies complained to the government and their social media followers, the government decided to enact chart freezing, which does exactly what it sounds like. It freezes the charts and blocks late-night digital chart manipulation. So will this work? Who knows? It's kind of up in the air. In my opinion, it probably won't. It'll probably discourage late-night chart manipulation, but I guarantee entertainment companies will find a way around it, so we'll see what happens. Emergency alerts may meet streaming services. Our Senate is currently considering a bill that will allow the government to send emergency alerts through popular media streaming outlets like Netflix and Spotify. The bill is called the READY Act, which stands for Reliable Emergency Alert Distribution Improvement, and the goal of the bill is to create a more efficient means of alert distribution while maximizing its reach to individuals. The bill already has bipartisan support, which makes sense because the two senators who introduced the bill are both Republican and Democratic, but obviously there are still some concerns about giving the government access to a site like Spotify or Netflix, so we'll see if it passes the Senate. TuneCore adds social monetization. If TuneCore is your distributor of choice, then I got some good news for you. The company recently announced they will be adding monetization for Facebook and Instagram. Now, if you've been listening to the Music Business Blitz over the past few weeks, then you know that Facebook recently struck up licensing deals with the big three major labels and then started touting their new relationship by offering users the ability to use music from very popular artists on their Instagram and Facebook stories. So as the book and the gram entice users to use songs, they in return are helping to generate revenue for artists and industry. And as such, TuneCore is getting in on the goods. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, today's Thursday. Yeah, we're almost there to the weekend. We'll catch up with you tomorrow.